have they made a changes? They seem to be making changes to who can play who can't play against each other. Am I right in saying that?
I was going to ask you to explain that on the draw tomorrow.
No, I think how it works is there can be 2 European teams in a group, but there can't be any 2 teams from the same region other than Europe.
Okay.
I don't like that draw. No, I don't like that one. LA, no.
But then there's part of it, Shaka, that you think they're at home. You kind of want those groups. Obviously, the US fans might not want, but it would be nice to see them against some big teams, given that they're the host nation.
No, it's not. No, not from a US perspective. No, I mean if you're.
They just want it as easy as possible.
Absolutely, and rightly so. I think everybody's the same in that regard. I mean, in theory, it's great to pull the Spains and France, and if you could have all of them in that one group, and great. But from a player perspective, and certainly in terms of going far in the competition perspective, you want those early games to be as easy as possible. If you go deep in the competition, you have no choice but to meet some of those bigger nations. But early on, I'm saying you try and avoid those as best you can.
See, I'm sort of the opposite mindset to that.
You want to meet.
Yeah. I was lucky enough. Europe played in Euro 96 and France 90. Euro 96, we had Holland, England, which was a marquee game because the tournament was in England, and it was Scotland-England, and we had Switzerland in the last game, who were a good side. And France 98, we got Brazil. We were lucky enough to open the tournament, the opening ceremony, and I just feel that as a player, sometimes you're lucky to go to 2 or 3 World Cups, maybe more. Sometimes you might not see a World Cup, it might be one. And I always feel that you want the marquee games. If you're at a World Cup, you're on the biggest stage, and you want to be on the biggest stage with the biggest players.
Right.
And that's your test. You know, and when we got Brazil, you're worried about it, and you're nervous because that was the Brazil with Ronaldo and Roberto Carlos and Rivaldo. But that's the test of a World Cup, rather than if I'm going to go out a World Cup, if the US are going to get knocked out or Scotland were going to get knocked out as we did, I don't want to go out against Iran and Austria.
See, Craig, I want to kind of split the difference. I want to say, okay, maybe there's a marquee team in your group.
Yes.
And then some teams that you can beat and get results against, so you still have a chance of going through.
Well,
so if you can do a combo.
If you beat a Croatia or a Morocco, imagine the confidence boost that would give the US.
Yeah, and imagine losing by 4, and what happens then when you have to play 2 teams that you're supposed to beat.
That's the thing. You have a marquee team, great on paper, but you finish second in the group. All of a sudden, that run in from there and gets a whole lot more difficult. Now, I've said, I think, for the US to have a good World Cup, you get to the quarterfinals. If you get to the semi-final, that's outstanding. But you finish second in your group to a marquee team. I think you open yourself for a whole lot of criticism. Or to Craig's point, you draw a Brazil, a Norway, and a Uruguay in that group. It does not matter to the public that we can say, listen, that was the group of death, and we're out in the group stage. That will not wash. That will not cover anything for Pochettino in terms of a failure to progress.
But I still think there has to be a realization, though. I mean, are you right now saying the U.S. is the 8th best, is a top 8 team in the world? So they should be in a quarterfinal because they're a top 8 team in the world.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just saying. I still think there's a point where
if there's an expectation of this US team, we were talking about
getting better.
They've been a lot better in the last 4 games, something like that.
Something like that.
But even at that, if there's an expectation that they're going to go to the semi-final, then people have been getting fed the wrong fish.
I agree with you.
Right.
I agree with you.
But if you do, I agree with you. I think if you can get a marquee team in your group and then other teams that are kind of similar level, then I think you're going to give yourself a chance. But if you're coming into a tournament and you're worried about who you're going to get because you're hoping that you get the weakest teams, that's telling me that you've got a mindset that you don't think you're good enough in the first place.
Well, let's go back to the last World Cup. And you look at it in Qatar, and you look at the U.S.'s draw, and you look at England, Wales, and Iran. I say the U.S., you should probably get out of that group. You'd probably get some results against Wales, against Iran, to get yourself through. Okay, you scrap a 0-0 draw against England, great. Then you come up against the Dutch in round 2. Do you say the U.S. should beat the Dutch in a knockout stage?
I don't, but the U.S. are criticized for not advancing any further.
Right. But
By
that's
who?
yeah.
Well, by the U.S. soccer supporting
I'm saying,
public.
could the U.S. have beaten that Dutch side? Well, yeah, on the day, maybe if things go the right way, okay. But I wouldn't look at it necessarily and say, yes, you should beat that team. So I think that's now because of the way results went in Korea, we had if results had gone a little bit different, we would have played Italy in the knockout rounds. Instead, because of the way results went, we played Mexico. And we'd been having a ton of success against Mexico at that stage. So we beat Mexico and got to a quarterfinal. So I still look at it from a perspective of who were we matched up against? And could we or should we? And when I look at Wales and I look at Iran, I say, yes, we should. When I go to, let's go back to Brazil. You're playing Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal. You're playing Germany, the next winners, and a Ghana team that's given you a lot of trouble. So I look at that and I say, should you? No, but they did. And then they played against a very good Belgian side, which you're going to say took it to extra time, had opportunities late in the match to maybe steal it, but I'm still not looking at that going, yes, you should beat a very talented Belgian side to get to a quarterfinal.
A player's perspective is not everybody, because clearly Shaka wants the easy.
Yeah, I do.
Easy route. You know, you want to step in the big stage, and you want to. I think you want to play against the elites if you can. But we know who doesn't want that. The managers.
Yeah.
They don't, because their backside is on the line. It's on fire. You know, they're the ones that the buck's going to stop with them. So they're looking at this draw. What day is it? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
They're looking at this draw tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. And it's going to be a long, drawn-out affair.
Very excited about that too.
And that's just us. And those managers are looking and going, oh, give me something to work with. They don't want Argentina and Spain and France and all these teams, maybe even Brazil, although they're not the best. They don't want them. But I think as a player, you're at a World Cup. You don't want Trinidad and Tobago, do you, at the World
No,
Cup?
you'll be all right. Yeah, you'll be all right.
You want Brazil and Argentina.
You're not getting us, that's for sure. You're not getting us. But let me just say, right? So, US as host, you start with 48 teams and then you go down to 32. And I know, to correct, I don't think anybody's realistically saying at this point that the US should get to a semi-final. I'm saying I think they should, or the expectation is at least a quarterfinal. If you go from 48 to 32, and then you only win one more game from there on in as hosts, I guarantee the outcry against Pochettino will be deafening.
Well, that depends who they get.
I don't think so.
I agree with you, Greg. I think it depends on who they get.
Might get Scotland.
Fine for us, but I think regardless of who they get, they win one more game outside of that group stage, the outcry will be deafening.
Did you say something about Scotland there?
Yeah, they might get
derogatory?
No, I just said they might get Scotland. That's how you read it.
By any chance? Is it sort of a sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek?
Craig, I'm a
derogatory?
quarter Scottish. I'm a quarter
Don't
Scottish.
claim that now. I've got a Scottish
would I
friend,
say
you know.
something?
Oh, goodness.
got a Scottish terrier.
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
How many
Where'd that come out
How many
from?
mums and dads have you got?
I played golf at St. Andrews one time.
But the Craig stands, they could get them.
Well, allow me to tell you, we're not accepting you. Get Stevie on the phone. Quarter Scottish. My backside. I think I can play for Trinidad. I'm a quarter Trinidad and Tobago.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Never heard that one before.
You never heard it? Where do you think my last name's from?
What?
Murray. Got a tartan and everything. Arms for that.